Just about everybody that I talk to seems to think my boat is painted white, because you guys only ever see it from the inside or rarely from the outside. My boat's black. The more you know. I have great news, guys. The Paddling and Bassin event is looking so good. Everything from the weather and the water conditions to the interest, like the people who want to come out and do it, it all looks really good. So if you haven't checked, the event listing is listed right down below. It's going to be 2 overnights and 2 full days of paddling, and you can come out for any part of that or one part of it. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. It's broken up into 2 legs so that you could just come out and run 1 leg on Saturday or 1 leg on Sunday, or you can come out and just spend the whole weekend running the whole thing and do a double overnight kayaking trip. And the bass are hitting. So it's a great event to get out and check it out. If you guys haven't been on an overnight kayaking event, come on out, guys. Let me be your guide. It's free, there's no cost, and we're just gonna hang out for 2 days and catch a whole bunch of probably smallmouth, but a whole bunch of bass while we're floating. But let's go down. I'll show you what the water looks like, and then I have a new friend to introduce you to. So this dock that you're looking at, this is where we're actually going to be putting in. It's super easy access in and out here. So if you haven't boated this area, this is a great put in, and you guys can come down and kayak this without me as well. By all means, have a blast. Now the second stop, so the Saturday night stop, where we're going to beach the kayaks, there's no nice ramp like this one. So there we're actually going to have to bushwhack up over the hill to get into the ball field. But it's still very manageable. If you have a little bit of mobility issues, you know, send me a message or talk to me. I'll explain in detail with it. But it's a little bushwhack up over the hill and such. But most people, you probably are going to be fine with that. So if you guys come out, I've spent a lot of time really trying to make sure that this is okay for most people to do. So in most cases, you should be fine as well. We're gonna get some pizza, we're gonna hang out in the evenings, but for the most part, this is a fishing event, and you wanna come prepared for that. Now, part of that, lures. And you know that I've got a great friend in Brian with Briar's Lures. Well, I talked to Brian, and he's actually going to come out Friday night here in Mapleton at the Riverside Park. And he's actually going to have his lures available for you to get. So you just have to bring a little bit of money with you if you want to stock up before you hit the water. And I think that's a good idea, because he made some great lures that are specific to this area right in here that we fish. The ones that are working right now, right here, he's going to have those on hand, so that you'll have that much more of a chance of succeeding when you get out there. Now, you still have to be able to fish. You are the fisherman. The Lord doesn't do all the work. But I'll tell you what, I've said it before, I think that even this guy could pull his lures and catch. So I'm sure you can succeed too. And you guys noticed I have the boat today, and there's a reason for that. Is the Striped Bass Association is stocking up at 7 Points. So I'm gonna do a dock update right there, and that's where I wanna introduce you to our new friend, seki. And I know that that's a word that you guys aren't familiar with, but you're gonna know all about it coming up real soon. So hopefully you guys can pen in some time, don't pencil it in, pen in some time for that weekend. Event listed below. This is Memorial Day weekend right in front of us. It's the weekend after that. That's when we're gonna go paddling and bassing. So pen that one in, and I'll see you right here at Mapleton at Riverside Park Friday night. Let's go do this dock update. I made it up to Weaver Falls, and you guys can see I'm on the boat, so I got it launched and such. But I was just talking to one of the fishermen up here. He's a Bassin guy, and something that your boy's a little weak on, guys. I don't mind admitting it. I'm not much of a bass fisherman. When I was talking to him, though, he shared with me this one little tip that I think you guys might be interested in hearing, was grass. The grass here at the lake is starting to come back this year. That's what his report was, and I'm relaying it. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say on the subject too. With grass coming back, if the bass relate to it, they'll find you'll find them in there, you know, especially he was mentioning at night. If they relate to the grass, that's good for the nighttime bass anglers. So that's something to keep in mind. But the grass, it's coming back. I know that's something you guys have talked about a lot in the past, is the lack of grass. So he was specifically talking about Brown's Hollow, but it should be relative to the whole lake. So if it's coming back there, it should come back at other places. So look for grass. All right, guys, I want to do a little dock update with you, and I'm going to introduce you guys to a new tool. It's called a seki disc, and the seki disc kind of looks like this. And the way you use it is it's really simple. You just put it down in the water until you can't make out the lines between the black and the white. And it gives you some kind of relative clarity, so you can compare that to how deep you had to go before to see if it's getting clearer or if it's getting more murky and less visibility. So it gives you a range, something you can gauge clarity on, other than me just saying, oh, I think you can see so far. Now I am actually, I have an education, imagine that. I actually did 4 years with Penn State, and my degree is in watershed management. And this is one of the tools we used, and I've been meaning to pick one up. I finally have, so now I can give you guys some, we'll say substantiated, or something that's even recordable, if you want to do that whenever I do these dock updates. Now, I'm looking for other things. So more than just this seki disc. If you guys have an idea, again, tell me. But let's go ahead and lower this down. Let's see how deep it goes. I'll show you what the clarity is and how deep before those little lines disappear. So all I'm doing is I'm lowering it down, and this rope has, essentially this rope has markings on it. So I'm just lowering it down until those lines fade and then disappear. I can still see it. I can still see it. I can still see it. All right, right there, it kind of disappears on me. So I'm going to bring that up and I'll show you what I can see. All right, so I'm just going to pull it up. I just pinched where it was touching the water, so that's where the water level got to. And right there's the first mark, a little black mark right there. So I got about 4 or 5 inches. That's 1 foot. 2 foot, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what that means is I can see this disc down 8 feet and 5 inches. So a little better clarity than 8 feet. So here at Weaver Falls, your visibility is going to be 8 feet. So when I do this report, that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to tell you what the clarity of it is. And it gives you an idea, some kind of gauge, something that you guys can determine as far as visibility. And I think that'll help you guys decide what kind of baits you want to get. So on a very clear day, you know, you can see 15 feet or even more than that. So today is 8 feet, so that's somewhere in the middle. You go up to Weaver Falls, it's going to be different than what it is here. So I'll share that with you at 7 points. We'll see how it compares up. So it's going to be a couple minutes before they're ready to put those striper in. They have to temper the water. They're just basically pumping lake water into the tanks so that the temperature of the lake water and the temperature of the tanks is the same. And they keep it there for a little bit, and then of course, they send the stripes out then. But we have a few minutes, and there's a couple ducks here checking me out. They're such mooches. They just want you to throw them crackers. But I have a couple minutes. I thought I'd talk about the Striped Bass Association. The links are down below if you want membership. You want to just send them a couple bucks for the GoFundMe, however you want to support them. But the easiest thing to do is to become a member, and then of course to get engaged with them and help them out. That's a great start right there. Start coming out to the tournaments, whether they're open or not, and you can support them. You know, I was thinking about this too. A non-member can still support the club simply by sharing the information the Striped Bass Association puts out. So if they talk about a stocking like this, you know, share that. If you see someone, you know, posted some pictures from the tournament or the results from a tournament, just share it. Doesn't cost a thing, and that is a way that you can support this organization. So look into that too. It's a simple thing to do, and it doesn't cost you a dime, but nothing is better than you getting involved and helping them out, so that we can have stripers here. It's a great fishery, and as long as we manage it properly, it'll stay that way.
Well, I said I can't do it anymore.
Alright.
Come back,
I don't know if I can be able to pull a striper in anymore.
I'm gonna kill you, Robert.
That's quite a bit. That's pretty good. Especially when they're big ones like that, you know.
6 feet 8 inches is the clarity here at 7 points. The seki disc is going to be our friend from now on when we're doing the dock updates, because you can see that it shows you the clarity difference between Snyder's Run and here, and that's helpful. So this dock update's getting kind of lengthy. I'm going to stop it right there. Guys, it's Memorial Day weekend. If you can avoid fishing here this weekend, that's probably the best advice I can give you. It's not the weekend for it, you know what I mean? I know it's going to be tough to hold yourself back, but if you're forcing yourself to come out here with the family, you know, or whatever, over the Memorial Day weekend, you're just going to fish anyways, regardless of what I would recommend to you. Do your fishing after 7 p.m. and before 9 a.m. So fish through the evening, overnight, and up in the morning there until around 9 a.m. If you can do that, that's really those are the hours that you're gonna have to fish if you're coming out to fish. If you're gonna be out here trying to get beat up through the day, well, that's what it's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of pleasure boaters that are just gonna wreck your world. I already saw it. There was like 5 boats on the water today. It's Thursday, and I already saw one of them, a big haul boat, just blasting through a no wake zone, just rocking everybody. And that was, I mean, it was only 5 boats on the water. So imagine whenever there's 50. It's gonna be a lot of people just wrecking havoc. So do the Memorial Day thing this weekend. Just spend time with the family, barbecue, camp, go for hikes, ride the bike, go get some ice cream, something like that. Maybe keep the fishing until overnight, you know, the overnight hours. But that's my recommendation to you. You do you. And I'm going to stop this one right there. Follow the links down below. Support the Striped Bass Association. Get involved. And once again, as always, guys, thank you for the support for this old boy. It's all possible because of y'all. Thank you for that. I'm out. See you.